Hello there, welcome, and thank you for tuning into this episode of Evidently You're Unaware. I am your host, Andrea, also known as the Successful Diva. And you know what we're about to do. If you've been following me for any length of time now, or if this is your first, second, or third, or you're still kind of feeling out what this platform is all about, let me just re-enlighten you. We are about to get smarter. We're going to get smarter on an issue, a topic, an individual, something that will elevate your ability to make smarter, better decisions. And that topic today, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the Florida driver's license renewal process, what has changed, and how it impacts your voter registration record. And I'm sharing this with you because I'm also going to share with you my lived experience through that process just this past week, month. I think it was here within the last few weeks. So nonetheless, did you know did you know that the renewal of your driver's license requires an update to your voter registration record? This fact could very well be one of the most overlooked potential problems that voters could face when they show up to vote in future elections. Now, before you panic, this doesn't apply to everyone. So I'm going to break it down and be specific on how this can possibly, potentially become a roadblock. And I promise you, there are people here in the state of Florida that are hoping you do not catch the roadblock before it blocks you. So what changed? In 2024, the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles began issuing randomly generated digits with driver's license and ID numbers to enhance security. So hear me good. 2024, this has been occurring. So how does it impact voters? How does it impact you? If you renewed or replaced, here's the group of people I'm speaking with, and I was in this group here recently. If you renewed or replaced your license since July 31st, 2024, your driver's license number may have changed. You see it here on the screen. That number that many of us, if you're like me, I memorized my number. I had it for years, so I knew the number. That number may have changed. Hear me good. This is the part I don't want you to miss. Along with the fact that the number may have changed, the new number will not automatically update the voter record for you. The new number will not automatically update the voter record for you. So if your license number does not match the one on file with the state, casting a vote, submitting online requests for vote by mail ballots or petition signatures, things of that nature, those actions may be unsuccessful. Before you run out and share and have everybody check your license, be aware. July 2024, if you renewed your license or you requested a replacement, that number may have changed. Now, for those of you who've not had to renew or your renewal is still pending, you won't need to renew before the next election. This doesn't apply to you. This only applies to people since July 31st, 2024. If you had to renew or request a replacement, that number may have changed and it will not automatically update voter records. So let me explain my recent lived experience. My driver's license came up for renewal this month. And as I naturally do, most people do now, I'm an online person. If I can do it online in the comfort of my time, my home, my office, whatever, I will do that. And so I did that. I got my renewal in the mail. My ID had already transitioned from the prior renewal to what was known as the real ID with all the security measures thereforth. And so I didn't have to physically go in unless I chose to do that. So I went online to renew. And at the end of the last screen where I would go in to enter payment, all of a sudden that number that I knew by heart, memory, was a different number. And I thought, oh, well, that's different. And lo and behold, because I wasn't still quite sure, what that new number meant, how it impacted my voter record, all of those things, I thought, you know what? I probably should just go in. So here I am thinking I was going to save time. I ended up needing to go into the DMV just to be sure what it meant. And boy, I'm telling you, I'm glad I did. Because when I was there, what I was advised was a few things that were a little bit alarming to me, and I think people may miss this. First of all, the number change, I noticed that right away. You may or may not notice that. Number two, it doesn't automatically update voter records. I've already shared that with you. Number three, because the number is different, I needed to now go in and kind of make my voter record now sync with the license, which means I had to let them know my party affiliation. I had to re-verify my address. I literally had to update my voter record at the DMV. That could have happened online, but because I was unsure, and I just tend to believe probably most people will be, which is why I'm on this platform sharing with you this experience so that you're aware and you can make better decisions. I was told I could have done that online, updating my voter record. But just to be sure, because it was new, visually it was new to me, I went on in. And the other thing that was new to me when I went in is I shared, hey, I've already requested, this is to the DMV customer service gentleman. He was a very nice guy. I said, hey, I've already requested my mail ballot. And, what does it do with that? Because that was not a question on the form, either online or in person at the DMV. He shared with me, after you get your new voter registration card, you will want to go on out to your SOE site or contact your supervisor of elections office or make sure that your request for mail ballot is still on file. And so I needed to now check that once again as well. So I'm sharing this with you. I'm wanting you to be aware because evidently many people are not aware that new law, July 31st, 2024, the DMV started issuing new numbers. When you renew your license or you ask for a replacement of some sort or your ID, that number may have changed and it will not automatically sync with your voter record at the supervisor of elections office. So you've got to do a little legwork. Please make sure you do the appropriate legwork. So what do you need to do from here? What do you need to do from here? I'm glad you asked. You can update your voter registration record by going to register2voteflorida.gov, register2voteflorida.gov, contact your county supervisor of elections office, contact respectively wherever you are, contact them. You may have to wait on hold for a little bit, but either way, contact your county's supervisor of elections office. Or if you are going to proceed and do things online, I just opted not to do that. But I was advised by the gentleman at the DMV office that you could have selected, or you can select yes to update your information online. So had I just selected yes, I would have had to go through all the same screens that I went to when I went in person to the DMV. I just simply went in out of precaution. So that's it. Think back, think back, think back. If you renewed or replaced your license since July 31st, 2024, go and confirm. Go take a look at it. See if that number's the same. If you are unsure, because maybe you hadn't memorized the other number, so you really don't know what the new number is. All of that thing, just confirm. It doesn't take much time to confirm. If your license has changed, then you'll know what you need to do to update. I just shared with you how to do that, updating your voter registration with your new number so that when you show up, if you're going to go in person, again, if you're going to go in person, which you got to go back to my other episode about why you should vote by mail, but that has already been discussed. Here we are just giving you some insight on your driver's license. So be sure that if you have renewed or replaced, know that the new number will not have automatically transferred over to your voter record. You must take action. And on its surface, ladies and gentlemen, on the surface of you having a new number, or persons having a new number, this could possibly be a silent, I'm just putting this out there, it's kind of like a silent voter suppression tactic, because you will show up to vote, something won't match. And what I'm concerned about, and I think we should all be concerned, is if you do show up on that day to vote and you're pressed for time, or you're on your lunch break, or whatever those things may sound like, some people may find and may choose to make that grave mistake of just not voting at all, because now you got to take an extra step on that day that you didn't plan to do, whatever that extra step may be, and you may choose not to vote. And let me make this clear, there are people counting on others not to vote. Please let that not be you. There you have it. Florida driver's license renewal, replacements, how it ties to your voter record. Please be sure that you have done what you need to do to get things in place, because ultimately everything depends on you. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I appreciate all you are, every listener, every viewer. I appreciate you. Follow me on Blue Sky, Andrea at thesuccessfuldiva.bsky.social. Inbox me questions, comment. I love hearing from you. Comment below if you want. Andrea at strategicblueprint.info is my email, and subscribe here on the channel at Evidently You're Unaware. God bless.
Evidently, You're Unaware is a platform dedicated to shining light upon various issues, topics, circumstances, and people who influence our lives. The information provided should not be considered advice for legal, health, investments, or the endorsement of an individual or group. Neither the host nor the guest of Evidently You're Unaware is responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from using the information shared within this podcast. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Evidently, You're Unaware.